In the syllabus, I have a really short sentence that some of the material that we watch is sensitive in some way, and then I don't really say anything about it again. And then if there's a scene that has graphic violence or is like documentary of violence, so there's actual dead people or actual violence depicted, or if there's sexual violence or something extreme like that, I'll just say something ahead of time and say it, just so you know this is happening in the scene, and that's basically it. And it's hard because there are sometimes, as I said, with sexual violence in scenes, I know that might be something that if somebody has experience with, seeing that they don't want to see that, and so I say leave. But triggers can also just come from just from anything, from a smell, from a color, from a specific sound, and so it's hard for faculty to really anticipate all of those things. So I think part of it should be on the students to know, A, that they're susceptible to being triggered like that, and then B, if they're able to identify what sort of things there are, just say, pull the faculty member aside, maybe in their office hours or something, and say, if there's going to be something that's really loud, just let me know in advance, or something like that, so that the faculty member doesn't just have to guess and just talk about everything that they show as being a potential trigger.
If we're going to start warning people against what they might find there, then people get to pick and choose. Like, I don't want to know anything about his experience. I don't want to know anything about her experience. This is a story about, oh, I don't want to know about that, which is the death of the liberal arts. To me, as a trauma survivor, I feel insulted by the idea that because a terrible thing has happened to me as a child, or as an adult, in my case it was as a child, that I have to be protected from what? Look at the world. From what? If everybody's got to be protected from this is the world. PTSD is not a disability. It's not something that we need to, make special situations for. It's a treatable condition. So like many other mental health problems, if someone has a treatable condition and it's manageable through one kind of treatment program or another, medication, whatever, then it's up to that person if they want to be in a setting where our common discourse is sometimes going to be troubling because we live in a troubling world. Then it's that person's responsibility to take their meds, to engage in the treatment that they need to be engaged in, and to manage their symptoms. When they can't do that, it's the responsibility of the institution to not penalize them for that, to be able to accommodate them. Like if someone's feeling sick in the middle of a class and they're going to throw up, well, I'm not going to fault them for getting up and doing what they have to do and going to the bathroom. Maybe not returning to the class and saying, hey, I felt sick, I couldn't do, I got it, that's fine. They profess to be protecting students, but in fact they're protecting the institution, because then there's a box that you can check and say, yes, we put trigger warnings on these things. Nobody thinks it does any good. If a student came to me and said, I cannot read this book, I just can't do it, I would find something else for them to read.
I think there should be some kind of specific language acknowledging trigger warnings, and just like a pamphlet or something to say this is what a trigger warning is and this is what a trigger warning is not, because I think a lot of faculty members think it's something that it actually isn't. also just lay down what is expected of the faculty members. I don't know if a policy is really necessary.
It is on the student to take care of himself or herself, and if that's what has to happen, I will honor that, because I believe the student knows where they are in their recovery from trauma. You know, I'm not here to cause anybody pain.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not one of those macho jerks who thinks, you know, what does not kill you makes you stronger. So go ahead, you know, you just power through and you'll be fine. You know, nonsense.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe that either. But I think that institutional responses are really about satisfying lawyers and insurance companies, and they're not going to do the job that of the student coming in here and saying, hey, I don't know about this book, I don't think I can handle it. That's a different response. That's a human and sensible, I think, response. Where the other one is just cover your ass. It's the institution covering its ass.